Not every soldier is recognized for their heroic actions. Indeed, one of the countless tragedies of war is that the bodies of many soldiers are never even identified. On August 3, 1956, 3 years after the Korean War, President Dwight D. Eisenhower signed a bill to select and pay tribute to the unknown soldiers of the Korean War, Vietnam, and World War II. These soldiers would be buried in the Tomb of the Unknowns in Arlington National Cemetery.
Jay Benham.
What is your name?
Cullen Phillips.
John J. Hitchcock.
Jack Jones.
I was in 21 months and 3 days.
8.
2 years.
2 years, 7 months.
I was in the United States Army. I was a door gunner on a CH-47 Chinook, which is that right there. Double rotor helicopter.
I was in the Marine Corps. I was a 2671. I was an Arabic cryptologic linguist, interrogator, and translator.
I was a medic. I worked in an intensive care unit in Japan during the Vietnam conflict, taking care of Vietnam casualties.
Door gunner, helicopter.
Well, I can explain some of it.
Okay.
I can't explain all of it. While I was in, I learned Arabic. I specialized in Iraqi dialect, Syrian dialect, and I learned Egyptian dialect and a number of other dialects. They're all fairly close.
I was 21 when I went into the Army. I was drafted. Went to Fort Knox for basic. Crazy. There was 252 men in our battalion.
As a Marine working for the National Security Agency, and I was farmed out to the State Department. So I was in civilian clothes and I wore a beard and longer hair. So, and that was interesting. I worked for the ambassador primarily, or what they called had the pleasure of the ambassador.
Well, it's total dedication. All those people that perform any part of that are 100% dedicated. They don't do a lot of things. They don't drink, they don't cuss, they don't do anything.
Yeah.
When you see them walking that straight and narrow, that's the way their life is. And that takes a lot of heart and a lot of knowing who you are to do something like that.
But what it means to me personally is that it represents people who lost their lives trying to protect our way of life and to protect the way of life that God gave us.
High priority of the military.
I don't know, it's kind of sad that somebody doesn't know who that actually is. But it's been there for quite a long time. It's a nice memorial to the unknown, to somebody whose their name has been forgotten, but they themselves, their remains have not.
Personally, I was at Washington once to see the Vietnam Wall, and that touched my heart in a way that is unexplainable.
There's one from every war, I know that, and it's mostly a symbolic thing,
Actually, although we don't know who it is, we don't know what branch he served in. We're not really sure what rank he was. We don't know what his background was, what his heritage was. We don't know any of that. yet the only person who knows who that is God, which I think is all that really matters.
Yeah, that's cool too.
And so it represents to me the men and women who gave their lives in wars that, in some of the most horrific ways, that were never identified. And so it means a lot to me.
You're just a nobody, you know. And it's up to you to prove to whoever's in charge that you're better than who they think you are. And that's the fun part.
Yeah.
I've never been there myself.
Is that something you'd like to do if you could go?
Well, if I can get on the honor flight, I'm gonna go to it, yeah.
No, I have not.
Is that something you would like to do?
Because you asked me, Mace, you know, I kind of think I would. I think that would be a beautiful thing to see that. Never gave it much thought until you asked me to do this interview.
I'd just probably say awesome.
Yeah.
And the reason is because it is that. It is something that everybody that appreciates the American flag should see, whether they see it on TV or whether they even read it. Everybody needs to know the dedication of those people that do that. It's way up on the scale high.
Illuminating. It gives you cause and pause for thought. It makes you seek out the unknown. And I mean, we're all curious, you know, but to seek out the unknown is, it would be great if we didn't have a Tomb of the Unknown, if all of our soldiers were back and they were in their proper resting place.
Yeah.
Love. Because the people that it represents, and the symbol it represents, was the ultimate sacrifice.
Be honest all your life. Don't lie to people. You say you're going to do something, always do it.
Oh, I have a lot of words of wisdom. I don't think you have enough tape. And actually, I don't know if I'm qualified to give you words of wisdom, but I guess it would be work hard. Don't, expect anybody to do anything for you. Okay? You need to learn to do it yourself. Learn as much as you can. Be a lifelong learner. Be tolerant of other people. Gentlemen should be gentlemen. Ladies should be ladies. Okay?
Remember, people are always more important than the problem. So attack the problem and not the person.
And in a lifetime, everybody says, oh, I got a bunch of friends. No, those are acquaintances. In a lifetime, you'll be lucky if you have that many. Do you know why? Let's say you had a flat tire and you're in Louisville, Kentucky, and you live in Eaton, Ohio. You didn't have a jack, you didn't have a spare tire. It's 2:30 in the morning, you're on the way back from a cheerleading contest or whatever. Who are you gonna call? Mom and Dad's on a cruise ship, they're gone. You call your best friend. You'll find out real quick who they are. Because if they show up, that one you do anything for. Okay? And you won't have more than 3 or 4, 5 at best of those in your whole life. All the others are acquaintances. You can call them friends, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
We only reach that point of being a gentleman if we want to. The other two, we don't have a choice. Being a gentleman, you do. Same thing with being a lady. Same thing.
You can come out of any hole you're buried in, but you got to have it here. You don't have it here, and your willpower and your heart, you're probably gonna just be one of those people that float around and bounce off everybody else. Remember, God gave you one of these and two of these,
Yeah.
right?
I've heard that, yeah.
So I listen to people, and I listen well.
And remember that a good leader doesn't do what's popular, doesn't always do what is safe, but always does what is right. Treat people for their internal value, in spite of all their handicaps and deficiencies that you may see.
Don't ever be late to any place. And if you are gonna be late, with the technology we got today, text that person and say, hey, I'm on my way, just like you text.
It has been my pleasure to sit down with these gentlemen. Their words and wisdom will be with me forever. Throughout my life, I will continue to think of these gentlemen and the services they provided to us. It would be my sincere privilege to honor these gentlemen, my classmates, my family, and myself to be selected to lay the wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldier.